Hi, this is Sam White. This is a ride that I did in December. I've gotten some feedback that I should record some of my rides and post them on YouTube because people are interested in how I ride. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm gonna give a little bit of commentary on what I'm doing, just kind of like narrating the ride. Important note, I can't hear anything right now. So if there's like honks or anything, I'm not going to be able to like react to it. So I'll go back through afterwards and maybe like add some text or something. So this was a ride to Beacon Donuts. If you've never been, highly recommend going. It's in an alley, so right now I'm just checking both ways to make sure there's no vehicles coming. Nice cargo bike passing through. Looking back and forth, checking back and forth. The left side's clear right now, just waiting on that right side to be clear. And then here in a second, after this car, I think, I go ahead and start moving forward. This white one right here. Intersections like these are really annoying. Usually what I'll do, like those coming out of an alley intersections, usually what I'll do is I'll find a crosswalk and just use that instead. Another important thing that I'm doing right here, so what I did right there was a little bit dangerous. What I'm doing right here, where I am blocking off the car that's at the front, is actually not. So the reason why I do this is because number one, it gives other cars good visibility of me, especially those that are turning left or that are turning to the right. And number two, it allows me to prevent from being sideswiped by a car that doesn't see me when I'm at the intersection. So I really like to block those cars when I'm at a stop sign. So this is probably the most distinct part of my riding style, I guess. You'll notice that what I'm doing here is I'm not taking the bike lane on Halstead, and that's for a few reasons. Number one is, as you can see, it's like almost entirely in the door zone, and I don't want to get doored. Really not here for it. Number two, it's barely like 2 feet wide, and that is not wide enough for a bike lane, in my opinion. So I guess I'm kind of petty. And number three is cars will absolutely speed down Halstead, like going 30 miles an hour or more. So generally the way I ride is when I have a painted bike lane like this, unless it is like a concrete protected bike lane that I know cars don't park in regularly, I just ignore it. And I do, so this is a little bit tricky right here because there's construction going on right there. But there's several main perks of that. Number one is I never have to worry about like suddenly jumping out into traffic. Oh, I think this car behind me was a problem driver. I never have to worry about like jumping out into traffic because there's like someone parked in the bike lane. I never have to worry about cars passing me over my shoulder that much. You'll see some of them later in the video, I think, doing that. But I don't have to worry about them like going 30 miles an hour over my left shoulder and not seeing me and barely giving me any space. And I also just keep the road kind of safer for everyone else because like cars shouldn't be going that fast on these roads. So yeah, it gives you a lot of flexibility when riding, and also increased visibility at intersections because it like you'll notice that like I'm just automatically in front of the car behind me, which I prefer to be because it lets me, okay, and then this white car is passing by me. You'll notice that they're kind of close, but the speed that they're going is lower because I'm only going at like 10 miles an hour. And that's the other main reason. Cars are going to be safer when I'm cutting them off and keeping them going slower. Uh, like I don't have to get worried about sideswiping or anything, because if the car's going 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour behind me, they're not going to be able to speed up that much to go around me, and they're not really going to want to, especially because I have a camera. So what happened just there, you'll notice, and that happens sometimes when doing this, especially on these buffered bike lanes, is that a car will notice that they have enough space. If there's like, a stretch of parking that's free or something like that, and they'll just pass me on my right, which like some people will tense up and be like, oh, that's really scary. And you're kind of right. It kind of is. But it's pretty, when I sat down and thought about it, it's kind of preferred to me because, when I drove, I don't have a car now, but when I drove, I was really unaware of my vehicle width. I did not know how wide my car was at all. And I think the vast majority of drivers do not know how wide their vehicles are, because the vast majority of drivers are idiots. So I would rather have a driver pass me on my right than have them pass me on their left, because I know when they're on my right, they're going to be able to, for sure, give me enough space. Obviously, right there, they're not gonna do, when they're passing me on my right, like right here. So see right here, there's like this large uninterrupted stretch of bike lane, and there's probably, I can't remember if there's any cars that try to pass me here. But you'll notice that like I'm moving a little bit more over to the left to like allow cars to pass if they need to. Another thing right here in these lanes, there's like a really annoying like ridge in the middle of the road, so I try to stay to the left of it, but that has ended up getting me in trouble sometimes, because cars will think they have enough room to pass me on the right, but they don't. Okay, see that right there, this is the other thing. I don't actually mind if drivers are gonna like do stupid shit like that. Like if they're going to endanger their own lives and the lives of other drivers, I am more than okay with that. Oh, oops. Okay, so we're at the end of the video, apparently. Great. I guess like the last few things I want to say. When going back to that, I would rather have drivers endanger each other than put me in danger. I would rather be visible than not be visible. I would rather be an asshole than be nice. An asshole and be safe than be nice. And I would rather be comfortable when I'm biking than doing something that to me is unsafe. So yeah, I don't know if this is helpful or anything. I'm gonna try to upload some longer rides if I can. But yeah, that's a quick voiceover of one of my rides.